Hey everyone, Future Rain coming back in time with the power of editing to tell you all that I have a Discord server now, apparently. It's pretty small at the moment, but we're steadily growing, and, you know, it's a cozy little place. Come chat with other fans of the channel. If you think I did a really stupid video, and if you think I was a stupid dumb brain for you suggesting that a Ruby character could beat a Devil May Cry character, hey, you can come tell me that. I won't ban you, I totally deserve it in this case. Want to make sure that I'll 100% see your math suggestion? Yeah, we got a channel for that. Come dump it in, and I'll either tell you that it's stupid, or I'll say I might do it. And want to post memes or porn? I have that for some reason. Within like 2 hours of this thing being up, someone posted the maid from Persona 5 with her tits out. That was nice. You into that? You can come see that. What the fuck am I doing? Hey, I'm not gonna open the channel because it actually shows spoilers, but you wanna know what's gonna come out ahead? You wanna know when I'm like, starting working on and finishing working on videos? Hey, I got a channel for that too. Wanna come voice chat? Literally no one else wants to, but you could be the one person that does. Alright, come see Rain93T's Ultimate Set. Why the fuck did I let him name that? But yeah, come join the server. Link's in the description. Come be cool. I'll be chatting with you when I'm actually awake. Right, is that the plug? Okay, good, I'm getting paid for this, right? Alright, nice. Hello and welcome everyone to something I haven't done in a while, an update video. Or, well, really it's more like an announcement video where I'll be going over some of the matchups planned for Season 3, but I'm calling it an update. Also, if I sound tired in this video, it's because I accidentally stayed up all night and now I need to stay up all day to fix my sleep schedule. So, if I sound tired, it's because I am. Okay, moving on. As for the matches I want to go over, I'll actually be revealing all requested matchups scheduled for next season, and I wanted to give some small thoughts on them. Now, just like in Season 2, it will be alternating, meaning I'll do a requested match, and then I'll do one I came up with, and then so on and so forth. Now, there's going to be 5 in total, not including Alex versus Cole, which I sort of count because of how popular it is, and when I've used Alex or Cole, I've been told that I should have done this match. So, is that cheating? Yeah, but it's my channel, sue me. Now, as for the matches not revealed so far, in no particular order, but starting with the one I'm most excited for, was requested by Daniel Villegas, is Corvo Atano from the Dishonored games versus Jonathan Crane from Vampire. Now, with this, I'm really not sure what to expect. Both are pretty different when it comes to their powers and fighting styles, so I'm hoping to have a lot to talk about when I get to this. Dishonored is a series I've wanted to use since Season 1, but both times I've ended up cutting the match, so there was no way I wasn't going to include this one in order to remedy that. Next up is one I was actually given a bit of freedom with in choosing between the versions, and that is by a user called Raxity, formerly called Nameless King of Dragons, who requested Cloud Strife versus Nero, and the versions I went with was Final Fantasy VII and Devil May Cry 4. This one was chosen less for the characters, and more because Final Fantasy, especially 7, and Devil May Cry are a pair of franchises I'd like to use more often. Final Fantasy especially, as there's far more variety in movesets and abilities that I would love to just get into and explore versus series-wise. Next up, we have a match that serves as a sort of sequel to Clementine versus Ellie with Joel Miller versus Negan, requested by the user Wayor. Now, this one is special to me as Joel and Negan are both in my top 5 for their respective series, and I'm not too sure how this is gonna go down as I'm honestly more familiar with the Walking Dead comics rather than the TV show, as I stopped watching around the time of a certain major character's death. Yes, I'm that asshole, deal with it. So I'm pretty excited to take another look at Jeffrey Dean Morgan's take on the character and see how he stacks up to everyone's favorite dead dad. Going back to Final Fantasy VII, we have one that I'm a little conflicted about. That being Adam Taurus versus Zack Fair. Now, what has me conflicted here is that I genuinely don't like Adam as a character. He has like one scene where he comes across as interesting, and it's so out of character to what we see later that he may as well be a different person. However, like most of the Ruby characters I've used, his power set and fighting style do interest me enough to ignore that, and like I said, I do want to use more Final Fantasy, so this works out well. The one requesting this one is a man of many names, currently going by Rodan, but he's also been called Kingzilla, the Immortal Super Being, the Universal Union, there's a pretty big, you know what, dude, just settle on a fucking name already. And finally, a match that was actually requested by 2 separate people in the same comment thread, so I decided to just lump them together. With Zach Taft and Joshua Slow in a fight that, while I'm not looking forward to researching if I'm being honest, does work really well thematically. With them requesting that I put a controlled Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 5 versus the MCU's Winter Soldier Bucky Barnes. Now again, thematically, I think this fight works out beautifully, as both of these characters while controlled were arguably in their deadliest states. Not to mention the trauma they faced afterwards. Now, I will be putting both of these two at their peak, which to me just so happens to be while both are under the control of their respective puppet masters, as neither are held back by morality or weaknesses. Right, moving on from matches, I want to go over something that I think is going to be a little controversial. But I'm planning to introduce a new mechanic to certain fights, which is equalize stats, which basically means that I will be evening out any power gaps that would normally be present. Now, don't worry, I'm not gonna hide this fact when I do it, and I will say who would win without this restriction at the start of the video. This is basically to allow me to do matches that would otherwise be complete stomps. For example, let's say I want to do a match that works really well thematically, but is one-sided. Or that I really wanted to do Goku versus Naruto and was really interested in seeing who had the better moveset and training, but, well, none of that would matter because Goku's punches shake the multiverse, and Naruto is a planet buster at best. Well, this would allow me to go into those matches and make them fair without lying to my audience. The secondary purpose is for franchises that have a lot of power scaling. I'm pretty sure I've been open about the fact that I don't like using power scaling in my videos. However, I understand and accept that it's basically unavoidable. And to be clear, this isn't me going, oh, well, fine, I'm just gonna equalize the stats. No, I actually happen to agree. On matches I've done in the early season, my stance has actually changed. For example, I completely agree that I lowballed Devil May Cry characters in Season 1, and I said quite a few things that were straight up wrong. However, to be honest, I really just don't care. If Dante is multiversal and faster than light, all that means to me as a content creator is that there are basically no interesting fights to do with him, because he'd realistically blow up his opponent by breathing on them. So yeah, if I look up on the Versus Battle Wiki or Comic Vine, or even if I see a feat that could be interpreted as something like that, I'm just gonna play it safe and slap on the stats equalized label onto the match. If you're looking for power scalers, there are plenty of really good ones out there. Basically for every franchise, I'm just not one of them. I'm more interested in analyzing a character's skill set, strategy, and power set to determine who would win in that situation. Simply determining that one character is island level and one character isn't is not the reason I started this Versus series, and I'm not going to let it become that. Finally, in terms of matchups, I'm going to be scaling back on the amount of official matches I do each year. Now, I'm testing the waters in Season 3 with 13 official matches for the season, including the finale, and the reason for this is honestly just to set a realistic expectation for myself. As a small tangent, I originally planned to have no less than 24 fights for Season 1, and only realized that I needed to axe most of them halfway through. And there are still matches that I have not gotten around to doing. Moving on yet again, however, that being said, content-wise, Season 3 actually has the most planned out videos, as there is no less than 20 planned with the addition of bonus matches and character showcases. Now, like I said, I did need to cut back on official matches, but I hope that with the addition of more bonus matches, which take less time to script and put together, I can keep a consistent level of total matches throughout a season. So as for how many of these I have planned, there are 4 showcases in total this season, which I won't be revealing ahead of time. However, I'm pretty excited to talk about all of these characters. Also, I couldn't fit this in anywhere else, so I'm just going to bring it up now. For some reason, Neo's character short was more popular than both Itachi's and Dio's, and I just want you all to know that you have terrible taste and I'm judging you for it. But just like with the requested matches, I did want to give you guys a heads up on the bonus matches, of which I have 3 total planned. The first of which being a Resident Evil fight where I'll be bringing back a pair of fan favorites, with Umbrella's best agent, Hunk, for a chance to redeem himself after Season 1, and the mercenary Jack Krauser after his victory in Season 2 to see if he can get another win. And as for the first bonus match to use a character from a showcase, I have Albert Wesker versus Diobrando, as I honestly just couldn't help but notice that these two are very, very similar. Both starting as manipulators who eventually grew to reject their humanity, becoming monsters in the process, as well as both of them having an ego that would rival that of Sephiroth. Lastly, one that may be a bit unorthodox, but I honestly find pretty interesting, is Lucy from Elfenlied versus James Heller from Prototype 2, both returning from Season 1. Now, while their abilities are far from similar, that's part of what I think makes it interesting, as both are used to fighting opponents with the exact same skill set as them, so I think it would be very interesting to take them out of their comfort zone and see how they'd fare. Right, that's it. What do you think of the selected requests or the bonus matches? As always, follow me on Twitter, check out 3Topics Gamer and Winter Ghost or I'll break your legs, and rate, comment, and subscribe or Susan will break my legs. Right, well, I'll see you guys next time.